Leeds in 1973. I suspect Alex probably got that lower being Sunderland. It's not so much the Porterfield goal, is it? It's more probably the greatest ever FA Cup final save, and double save at that. But the second one from Lorimer is quite staggering when you look at it again.
Well, I think if you listen, if you listen to the commentary, I think the commentator says, and Lorimer scored. He actually says Lorimer scored.
Leeds are really pushing forward. Cherry, brilliant save, and Lorimer makes it 1-2.
I always say, next to Banksy's save in the World Cup, that is one of the greatest saves I've ever seen Jim Montgomery. I was delighted for Sunderland simply because at the time it was Leeds, and everybody where I lived at the time in and around Brockley, Leeds were like big. They were the team at the time, and everybody wanted them to win. Remember Leeds had those socks with the numbers under the... Remember those? Yes. They had so you roll the socks down, and it had the number on the side here. I've always wanted that in the school. It never happened, but I just remembered that Sunderland was such underdogs in that game. Yeah. Such underdogs.
Well, Leeds was so strong back then, weren't they?
Believe it or not, Gary, I've got the higher than Wrighton.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Well,
have you?
I have, yeah. Only because Jim Montgomery used to coach us when I was a young kid on schoolboy forms at Southampton. We used to go along to Gateshead Stadium, and Jim Montgomery was one of our coaches then when I was a 12 or 13-year-old. So we used to go and head along to there and train 2 or 3 times a week. It's when the old you could have an academy like Southampton did here in Newcastle, and Jim used to coach us, and I always remember the very first time I met him and sort of shook his hands, and I think, goodness me, the size of your hands are just ridiculous. And he was a great guy, and that's why I've got it higher, because I had a great relationship.
I tell you what,
I only saw him a few weeks ago.
It's a good point, good timing actually. Just give us your 10 to